In this episode of Vlog, we head to Hunan province, to the place that inspired the mystical scenes of floating mountains in James Cameron's Avatar. Join me in Zhangjiajie for the most breathtaking, jaw-dropping, heart-stopping landscapes I've ever seen. G'day guys, guess where I'm headed off to tonight? Well, it's one of the places that you have to go to in China before you die. It's called Zhangjiajie, and you may not have heard of it before, but if you've watched James Cameron's Avatar, it was actually the inspiration behind a lot of the mountainous scenes. Super pumped. Can't wait to get there. Zhangjiajie is located in northwest Hunan province, which is in south-central China. Sound confusing? Still, it's easy to get there, with direct domestic flights from big cities like Beijing, Shanghai, and Guangzhou. From the airport, it's a 30 or so kilometre drive to the main tourist spots. Sightseeing is not on the agenda tonight, but checking into a hotel is. There's a huge range of accommodation options here, especially within and around the UNESCO-listed Wulingyuan scenic area. And, lucky me, I'm living it up this trip. So hello Harmona Resort and Spa. Whoa! Fancy schmancy, check it out. So much space, I don't even know what to do with myself. That's a really big bed, and it's kind of a waste, isn't it, spending this night by myself. And such nice ambience and decoration. I think this is the bathroom. Yep, it's about 4 times the size of my Hutong home in Beijing. Check it out. I think I know exactly what I'm going to do tonight. Run a super duper hot bath and just stay in there for hours. Alright, off you go. Bye! I'm up early the next morning to find myself surrounded by soft emerald hills and wondering where I should start my adventure. This is a colossal 4-star lodging with 5 restaurants, 2 pools, and a number of nooks and crannies you can explore, like this tea house/library. It's stacked full of ancient texts like Hong Lou Meng or Dream of the Red Chamber, one of China's 4 great classic novels. There's also a calligraphy brush and water as ink to write your own story, albeit a momentary one. If you're a fan of tea, or maybe just feeling frozen and parched like me, you can take part in one of the most deep-rooted customs in this country: tea drinking, the ceremonial way. Legend has it that tea as a drink originated in China almost 5,000 years ago, when a leaf from a nearby shrub fell into a pot of water which the emperor was boiling. There's a traditional art of brewing and drinking tea, which I'm unfamiliar with, like most things requiring a degree of refinement. But it's a fascinating experience, and the tea smells divine and tastes even better. You know, it's a little bit damp and cold here in Zhangjiajie, but if you manage to peel yourself out of bed and get yourself from the warm room to this charming little tea house and library, I think it's the perfect way to spend a wintry morning. You know, you can devour some Chinese classics like these while drinking some hot tea. I admit that I don't actually know how to read most of it, but I'm guessing this is how sophisticated Chinese people do it, right? Sipping tea like a lady and leafing through literature. I've come a long way on Travelog, haven't I? After that rather dignified start to the day, we're headed a little to the northeast of Wulingyuan district to a subterranean wonderland. It's day 1 of our Zhangjiajie adventures. Not the most ideal weather conditions. It's pretty chilly because it's it's the beginning of winter, so the max today is 6 degrees. And it's a bit rainy. But we're headed to a place called the Huanglong Dong, which are the Yellow Dragon Caves, and they're the longest of its kind in all of Asia. And I guess it won't matter that it's raining because we're going to be underground. Woo! These caves attract more than 1 million visitors a year, but it's off-peak season right now, so I won't have to contend with any crowds. Ticket time! It's really cold. 你好。
哎，你好。
一张票多少钱？
一张票成人票100。好，这是您的门票。
谢谢。Woo! Wish I was still a student, but here we go. Huanglong Caves are a 4A rated attraction, as assessed by the China National Tourism Administration. This means they're up there in terms of factors like importance, transportation, safety, and sanitation.
这里呢，这个就是黄龙洞的入口，
里面会冷吗？
里面呢是16度恒温的。
16度。
对。
Oh, yes.
非常的暖和。
Okay. 好了。It's a bit crazy to think that these caves cover an area bigger than Vatican City, and even boast an underground lake.
这边非常的神似这个龙头。
Oh, 看到了。Oh, yeah.
眼睛看眼睛。
So much bigger than I expected. It's nice and warm in here. I mean, not terribly warm, but warm enough. Much warmer than outside.
这边道路楼梯都是后来凿出来的。上来这边之后，看这边右手边，黄龙洞内最有代表性的定海神针，最高的这一个，生长了20万年。它现在高度呢是19.2米高，最高最年长的一个。它非常的细中间，所以说生长的特别不容易。具有代表性的就是这一根定海神针。
After a bit of clambering up and down, we reached what's aptly named the Dragon King's Palace. I'd say I'm the biggest fan of this rainbow-coloured theme in here, but I feel like it makes it seem like I'm walking through this weird kind of eerie land, so it's pretty cool. And where I'm standing now is the biggest cluster of stalagmites in this entire cave. Some of them are actually almost 20 meters tall, and they say that it takes 100 years for them to grow 1 centimeter. So if you do the math, that's about 200,000 years. It's a long time before this cave was discovered in 1983. Huanglong Caves are a drainage system typical of karst topography, which is formed from the dissolution of soluble rocks like limestone. It makes for 15 kilometers of dazzling geography, doesn't it? Our next destination, the beguiling vistas of the freshwater Baofeng Lake. It's a dreamlike scene, complete with glassy ripples, vintage open-air barges, luxuriant stone peaks rising from molten surfaces, and local vocal entertainment. Those are the voices of the Tujia, the 7th largest minority ethnic group in China and the largest in Hunan province. They're renowned for their singing and song composing abilities. Meantime, I'm just soaking in the enchanting view and the not so enchanting chill. My nose just keeps dripping. It's about to fall off. I'll show you something if you'll excuse my cracked screen. It's 2 degrees in Zhangjiajie, and that's in the city centre. Out here it's 5 degrees colder, which makes it -3. And I just can't believe it's colder than Beijing, which is 1 degree right now. But yeah, I mean, we're a bit further south, so it's not expected. Anyway, it's still nice to be out here in the freezing cold, you know, with the mist that's kind of hovering above the lake, and it's a very deep lake actually. I think on average it's 72 meters deep, and at the deepest point it's like 120 meters, I think. But the air is nice and fresh and invigorating. Definitely recommend coming here in spring, autumn or summer though. Now, what better way to distract yourself from the sub-zero temperatures than with some sublime showbiz? What do you know, there's a whole lot of nighttime entertainment you can find here in Zhangjiajie as well. This apparently is the world's largest bar, and it seats up to 4,000 people. Zhangjiajie is home to a lot of world records broken, hey? You guys, I am. I'm definitely not feeling slightly out of place.
Bit of VIP treatment, eh? Not quite used to it, but could get used to it.
I was most certainly not expecting Cirque du Soleil, plus a pop performance, plus cabaret, plus everything verging on sensory overload. So it most certainly deserves a selfie video for my mates back home. Yeah, this epileptic, ear-splitting, excessive atmosphere is a rather stark contrast to the daytime sightseeing in Zhangjiajie, but proves there really is something for everyone here in this tourist city. Coming up next in Zhangjiajie, I'm in a river reverie where I'm forced to look at the most beautiful panoramas. Me up! 20 kilometers from Wulingyuan National Park is another 4A rated tourist site, but this time it's overground, way overground.
I'm now at what's probably the most popular attraction in Zhangjiajie, and it's the Zhangjiajie Grand Canyon Glass Bridge. It stretches over 2 gigantic cliffs, and it's about 430 meters in length and 300 meters above the valley, making it the longest and the tallest glass bridge in the entire world. Now this miniature model, I reckon it makes it look like a bit of a walk in the park, but let's tackle the real deal and see how we go. VIP entry!
Step 1, get excited. Step 2, fashionable footwear.
You know what, they should put like little mops at the bottom of this so they can clean the glass as we walk by. Think that's a good idea? I'm here, finally. It's a bit unfortunate that it's so cold that there's woo, slippery. Frost all over the glass, so you can't actually see down to the bottom of the valley.
But fortunately, I find that further along, there are a couple of panels that have been cleared of the snow.
Nothing happened, there was no crack. You know, I've always considered myself as a person, I don't know if it's brave or stupid, but you know, I'll try everything, eat anything. Not the best at scary movies, and I have this really silly pigeon phobia. But this is, wow, I'm not really usually scared of heights.
Yeah, this Israeli designed overpass is high up enough to make me contemplate my mortality a little.
你们第一次来张家界吗？
对，第一次来。
你觉得怎么样？
好啊，
好啊，
漂亮玻璃桥，我举世闻名的，好的吗？
觉得
每个人上来都很开心的。
啊，对对对，
摔跤都开心，像你刚刚一样，对不对？没摔到都很开心，对不对？
是的，是的。
都很开心的。
Oh, this is good. This is good. I kind of wish that this bridge would like start vibrating in the wind. Just a bit of an adrenaline rush. Woo! This is cool. Oh.
Apparently there'll be a bungee facility installed here in the future. I'll be back again then. We drive back to Wulingyuan, which is not only a nationally 5A rated spot, but was listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1992.
You might be able to tell, but I'm limping a little bit because I busted my knee about a month ago running, and seems like I've done it again, which is not the best time. But luckily there is a cable car that will take us up to the top of Tianzi Mountain, and it's really popular with the photographers because from up there you can see all the landforms that Zhangjiajie is really famous for.
The ride starts pleasantly enough and just gets increasingly spectacular.
Wow. I want to take like a million photos already, even though there's glass and scratches on it, and it's going to be way better up there. But
I'm so glad to have brought my very old but still trusty DSLR. and I can't wait to get out there onto the platforms.
Okay. Words cannot describe. I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to come here for yourself.
I always believed Narnia was real. Perhaps not behind a wardrobe, but it does exist, here in China.
Even these are so pretty. I really want to try some. Ice cream!
It's difficult to peel myself away from that phenomenal, fantastical visual buffet, but there's much more to see in Zhangjiajie.
Within the Wulingyuan scenic area, there are lots of shuttle buses that can take you from one site to another, and it's all included in your ticket, so it's pretty good, very convenient.
On the way to some more food for the eyes, we stop by Yuanjia Zai, which means Yuan Family Village. It's an exhibition of Tujia folk customs, which is worth a peek into, as today, traditional Tujia practices can only be found in the most remote areas.
这图案很漂亮，是代表什么东西了？
这个嘛，
对，
这是一个蝴蝶。
哦，
蝴蝶其实在我们土家族就是福到的意思。
哦，这是土家族的。
它是吉祥如意的。在我们土家族呢，就是一般是以母系氏族，就是女孩子地位是相对来说比男孩子要高一点。
哦，
这土家女孩子就不一样了。生下来就是让她去学习这些。女红，我们叫女红，就女孩子必学的一门手艺。我们土家族就把这个我们自己的民族叫比兹卡民族。
哦，比兹卡。哦，可以看吗？哦，I'm just being a nuisance as usual. 哦，哇！
就是像燕子的尾巴一样。
哦，很美。Even the back of it looks pretty good to me.
Zhangjiajie is home to 1.72 million people, and ethnic minorities like the Tujia make up 73% of the population. Here, I can gain some cultural knowledge and some much-needed body warmth.
All I need is some marshmallows and a stick. Perfect. This is the first time I've ever sat under a roof of meat. Makes sense though.
Speaking of meat, having sat under smoked meat for a while, I'm feeling peckish. Turns out this interactive museum also sells local snacks.
哎，这是什么东西？我没看过。锅巴。锅巴是什么做出来的？
大米用火炭火慢慢炒的。这个是也是蘑菇汤，浇在上面吃的话特别香啊。
哦。This is interesting. Never had anything like this before. I like it.
And here we are finally, Yuanjiajie.
This is the breathtaking landscape that is said to have inspired the Hallelujah Mountains in James Cameron's Avatar. And that one over there, that pillar, was actually renamed the Avatar Hallelujah Mountain. And it's just crazy to think that it's more than 1 kilometer tall. Jeez. No, this is where I paint myself blue and jump off the mountain, isn't it? I see you.
These colossal columns in this global geopark form one of the most surreal and mind-boggling sights I've ever seen, and really do bring flashbacks to the 2009 epic science fiction film. Although it resembles karst terrain, the area isn't the product of dissolved limestone. The precipitous rock formations are quartz and sandstone, and are the results of eons of physical erosion. And now, the Bailong Elevator.
I feel like I'm going into some hotel lift, but it's actually the tallest outdoor lift in the entire world. Whoa! That sometimes during the busiest time of year, tourists may have to wait up to 6 hours in line for this experience. So, whoa! If you're a huge Roald Dahl fan like I was when I was a kid and wanted to be Charlie in the Great Glass Elevator, you know what? You can. It's awesome. And it's even got Christmas lights.
Coming up next on Travelogue, living the dream. Touristy sightseeing done, so it's time to relax and sample some local life, but with all the perks of being a tourist. Next stop, Yangjiajie in the west of Wulingyuan. A ticket to Wulingyuan Scenic Area will get you a 4-day park pass, which means access to all attractions plus shuttle buses. But anything on top of that is extra, including cable car rides. You can choose to hike, of course, but with my bad knee, I'm taking it easy and focusing on snapping away. Not that I could ever forget the scenery.
This is the best weather we've had since coming to Zhangjiajie. You know, the sun's out, you can feel the warmth on my skin and there's blue sky. It's really almost hard to believe that just yesterday, 10 seconds outdoors and I thought I was going to turn into an ice cube permanently. I think Zhangjiajie is the type of place that you've got to come back 4 times in your life just to see it in different seasons, eh? Anyway, this is where we're going to be staying tonight.
I'm at number 5 Valley Resort, just 2 kilometers from the Yangjiajie Park entrance to Wulingyuan.
Valley. Ooh, this is nice. 你好，
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 欢迎光临永华山谷。
谢谢。
订的是一个就是稻田别墅房。
Okay.
房费是已经预付了。You have prepaid the room fee
Uh-huh.
on the website.
Yeah.
So I can give you the key of your room.
Okay, perfect.
Like this one.
Thank you.
So our housekeeper will lead you to your room.
Okay, sweet. Thanks. Cheers.
I'm a bit of an eager beaver, so I don't wait, but find my own way.
Sweet! Oh, it's heavy. This is exactly the stuff that I like. It's so cozy. And I've got my own little balcony and tea set. Yeah! Oh, that's so cool! Oh, I love this place already. Especially the design of it and all the timber and rope and everything is just so organic. Good colour scheme as well. Another balcony? Man, I'm getting spoilt. Alrighty. That is nice. Alright, I'm gonna enjoy this stay.
And at night, who wouldn't enjoy a good bonfire party while being serenaded Tujia style?
大一望遥喂，今儿在呀河下呀，亲到妹妹喂一呀，衣裳要喂，亲一棒儿我吹得响哟喂，能盘哟金山哟。 亲到妹妹喂一呀，新衣裳要喂。
The warmth of the fire and the locals, downing skewers and beer over conversation, plus a chant and prance around the crackling flames. Yeah, there could be a worse way to end the day. And there could be a worse way to begin one too. It's just blissful out here at Number 5 Valley. The undulating hills, the rice terraces, the sheer cottony wisps of clouds, the rustic allure of the place. I could sit out here for hours if my tea wasn't getting cold. I know, it's like I'm trying to be all classy again. But this time, I'm doing my own tea ceremony and looking at pictures in the Travel China guidebook. And really, it's just perfect. Although, I can't sit here forever. Number 5 Valley Resort is a family-run lodge, and if you've had enough of other travellers and tourist attractions like I have, why not get a feel for family life here? Just grab a basket and go for a harvest. Definitely not something I get to do in Beijing, so I'm pretty stoked about this opportunity.
It's just so much fun being out here, you know, get to breathe in this invigorating mountain air and...
Yep, it's really light years away from going to the grocery store in Beijing.
This is a great way to get a taste of local life up here in the relatively remote parts of Zhangjiajie. And I could possibly even learn to cook as well. Don't know about the taste of that though.
I like the eating part though.
So I had almost absolutely no input in the cooking process, but I helped pick these veggies and they're delicious. And very light, delicate taste, fresh. Thanks to this guy. 这都是土家菜。
对，
I honestly couldn't imagine a better afternoon right now, ending with some wholesome, home-cooked local chow.
Well, that's all folks from Zhangjiajie. You know, managed to survive the deep freeze and also managed to avoid being permanently crippled on this bad knee of mine. But it was so worth it. I got to, you know, eat some really good Hunan cuisine and hang out with great Tujia people and also see some of the most jaw-dropping natural scenes like this behind me in the world, really. So if you're thinking about where to go on your next holiday, it's pretty obvious now, isn't it? Catch you next time on Travelog.